I'm
Does
surprised.
that make you feel a little better if you're a Leaf fan?
Yeah.
That Elliott's really convinced that he's going to sign?
Yes, it does make me feel better because, Elliott knows stuff. I am surprised, though, and I did want to talk about that a little bit today, just because we had talked about potential next contracts for Matthews and what they would look like. It looked to a lot of us that it set up the 5-year deal to take him to UFA as young as possible. You would then want him to, you would think if he's trying to earn all the money he could, like a 3 to 5 year deal, then he's still 29 when he signs his next deal, and you can give him another 8-year deal at that point. 8 years now takes him to 33 years old or something like that. Not sure teams want to do 8 years at that point, but boy, for the Leafs, you love the idea of it.
I don't see an 8-year deal at all. And technically, they are negotiating still in a pandemic cap world, which means it's flat next year. And would Auston and his representative, Judd, be in a position to really forecast that this is where the cap's going to be definitively? Therefore, I want this number now. And I'm not sure he can get that number. The number that you foresee in the next 5 to 6 years, meaning that don't touch the 8 or the 7-year deal.
If I'm Brad Treliving and I'm talking to Matthews, I say, you present him with, if you do an 8-year deal, you look like these other guys who care about their team. You want to stay. The city loves you. If we give you 14 or 13, it's an $8 million difference over 8 years. It's not a huge swing in where you're going to be in your life, but the fans will love you if you do 13. Would you do 8 times 13, somewhere in that neighborhood?
I can't see him touching 13 for 8 years.
No. You want 14?
I would think or 15. 14 or 15 would be a number on 8 years for me if I'm Judd. You
know what kills me about these sort of contracts? I see people saying like, what about McKinnon did 12.7, or what about Tkachuk going into this past year did 9.5. That Tkachuk deal immediately looks like the Marchand and McKinnon deals that looked so bad for so long.
If Auston would do that, he'd be such a hero overnight in this city.
And what is the value of that? Honestly, what is the value, like in terms of future earnings, your reputation, your ability to win?
Yeah. Which this year, his reputation took a step back.
I think so.
No question.
Just as a player.
As a player, and
he wasn't one of the 10 best players in the NHL this year.
As a guy just simply for me, as a guy that you can watch. This is just, forget analytics, forget about goals and assists. Let's go with optic analytics. There's your new term from the Real Kyper and Bourne Show.
Perfect.
Optic analytics.
Yeah.
And I'm evolving. Thank you.
Nice drop.
Nice drop, Monty. He didn't pass that one for me.
Yeah.
When I look around and I see other players, and McKinnon last year or Eichel this year, the optic analytics says that guy's all in. All in.
Yeah. Well, there's a lot of, is his wrist hurt? There's a lot of questions.
Stop it with the
but that's
wrist
the point.
hurt.
But that's the point.
That makes me nauseous when I hear his wrist.
Because he was playing the way he was, people asked those questions. The way he was playing led us to those questions. So even if it was or it wasn't, you can say there was a definitive, noticeable difference.
Matthew Tkachuk playing with a broken sternum.
Ugh, that's intense.
Come on, like Auston.
That's too much, by the way. You shouldn't do that.
Don't try that at home, folks.
Don't.
But that's where Auston just has everything going for him. But that's the one thing that's missing is when we watch you this season, you don't look all in.
Well, the year before, when he won the Hart Trophy, I felt like there were times when he looked like Giannis Antetokounmpo. How'd I do? That was better.
The Greek Freak.
The Greek Freak. Going through the neutral zone, just like slicing, powerful, big through the middle, looking like, prime Adrian Peterson.
Yes.
That wasn't there this year.
Carrying players on his back and still getting to the net and driving and finishing.
Yes. So that wasn't there for him. Still, I think he has earned the type of money he's going to get here, whether it is 14 or 13 or whatever. He's going to make a loud statement about his priorities with what he does. And so if I'm his agent, it might be worth saying, shelf some of the money, commit long term, show the people you want to be here. I bet you if you do 8 years, you're the captain in a hot second. Maybe it's whenever Tavares is gone. I don't know. Whenever that is. That could be part of it too. Yeah, a couple years right now. Could be sooner. Never know.
I'm here all day, I guess.
For 2 years.
Do you not think that him resigning and upping five years or plus that they don't go, insta captain. You've been on this for a year and a half.
I have.
Like, just give it to him.
You want to sell the number 34 Toronto Maple Leaf sweater with the C on the chest at some point here.
I would think that would be a carrot to dangle.
Do you think he really wants it? Or I know the organization
I got
would
a
want
better
it for him.
Forget him. Forget him for a second. Okay. Is he a captain? Okay. Answer that question before does he want it or not?
Yeah.
Is he? I didn't see captain material last season.
I don't feel equipped. I don't know what goes on in that room, how much he speaks up.
Didn't see it. Didn't see a guy that definitively plays every night and says, this is my team.
Yeah.
Jump aboard because we're going for a ride.
Yeah.
Didn't see it.
But there comes a point where if a guy is close, he gets the C. You know what I mean? Where you'd rather, it's a statement to the guy if you say, we're going to have no captain. Is a statement. Let's say Tavares leaves in 2 years, and they're like,
statement.
We're not sure if you're a guy, a real captain, so we're not going to have one.
They signed.
That's a statement.
To me, like, I'll go back to John Tavares signing.
Yeah.
You know what the statement was to me? That you signed John Tavares at the time. You made him the second highest paid player in the league. You took away a franchise player who was a captain for the New York Islanders, and you don't put a C on him right away. He didn't get it till what, a year later?
Mm-hmm.
Like, why?
To me, he's never been in the room. It's not his team to come in and lead.
Oh, there's some guys you can just I know Mark Messier did it, but I get the fact that there's no Stanley Cup.
Literally name an award after his ability to lead teams.
I know, but there are just some guys are just the leader.
Yeah.
And
whether Matthews is or not, he's the face of this team, and they go as he goes. If he's bad, they're not going to win. If he's good, they can win. Fans perceive him as the face of the franchise.
Okay, let's answer your question then. Do you believe that he wants it?
I believe that he wants it from a perception standpoint, and I do think he's ready to handle the media. I think he's their best media guy. He does a good job managing the stress and the ups and downs of things.
Better than Morgan Riley?
Nah, that's a good point. That's a good point. Morgan's really good.
Really good.
Okay. Think he should be Morgan? Morgie, he's got
the
long-term deal. He took a discount.
Can we say that even the fact that we're having this conversation on Morgan or Auston says that John Tavares isn't the guy?
Yeah. I feel bad because I'm a Tavares fan and I root for him and I think he's a good dude. But yeah, I don't see him as the face of this team at this point. He's not the driver on a night-in basis. And he's not someone you look to.
And he can't carry a team.
Do you remember when Andrew Ference was named the captain of the Oilers and he was like healthy scratched at times?
Yes.
It's hard, right? And I'm not saying Tavares is Andrew Ference. That's not the point.
Anytime you do that, and a good friend of mine's Chris King, he was the captain of Winnipeg. Yeah. It's hard for third or fourth liners to be that guy when he's not leading on the ice in the final minute.
And not even leading the guys when there's like 3 or 4 guys who like Mitch Marner and Matthews and maybe Willie next year who could be another 40-goal guy. Like there are players who are more important to the team, then it's hard to be the leader.
Would a 3-year deal or less bother you for Auston Matthews?
So bother me a little bit in secret, yes. Like that would be like, it's annoying that he feels like he's trying to wring the team every dollar he can out of it, right? Because that's what that feels like. Let me see the cap go up. Let me put up some numbers, and then let me ask you for 16. Like it feels a little like, why don't you just commit to the team and be here?
Well, that's the word, commit. It's a non-commitment. It's a dipping the toe in the water, not all in.
But 4 and 5 years is a long time. And I think that's a commitment.
Yes, I'm with you.
You know, so I'm
minimum 4 or 5.
right.
Three
does feel
tells me you're just waiting for maybe another building to show up in your home state.
Yeah, right. Like Arizona's got 1 billion draft picks and they're trying to build an arena. Maybe it is different in 3 years. You know, and that's 4 years of playing time for him.